Welcome to Testimony with Veleta K. Hello, everyone. Welcome to His Truth, My Testimony podcast. Today, I have someone very special with me today, someone I've known my entire life, my sister, Candida Keller. Candy, say hi to everybody.
Hey, everyone.
So I brought my sister here today, and we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a conversation about growth, perspective, healing, just from someone who's known you your whole life as a child, and they get to experience the woman that you're becoming. I think a lot of times in families, we don't go back and talk about our traumas or give perspective to what happened when we were younger. And we don't always pause to reflect on how it made us feel, but also how it's helped us become who we are. So today we're going to give language to our younger selves that couldn't speak for ourselves when we were growing up.
Okay.
And we're going to honor the women we're becoming now.
Okay.
And so I'm talking to my sister because it is very rare that you can have a candid, real conversation about growth, healing, perspective, trauma, triggers, love, expectation, dreams, duty from someone who's seen you your whole life. So, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right. So, sister, when you think of our childhood, what comes to mind and why?
When I think of our childhood, what comes to mind is that we do not look like what we've been through.
Oh my gosh.
And that can sum us up. I think that when people see us, they would not see all the homes that we've been in, all the people that we lived with, and all the different emotions that came with being with so many different families. But I think that most of all, we don't look like what we've been through, and we don't sit there and let it control our destiny.
Right.
You know, so when I think about my childhood, specifically with you, I think of someone who never let me see them sweat. At a very young age. I just really imagined, that you really didn't go through a lot of things, but you did. You just were more to yourself about it and more quiet, where I was every single trauma I was yelling out, Yeah. But what do you think about?
When I think about our childhood, and what comes to mind is our bond.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter where we were, no matter what parent we lived with, no matter if our family unit was intact,
yes,
no matter whether our family was divorced and we were separated homes, whether we were living with a grandparent, a family, what comes to mind is that we were never separated. Is that you and I were together and we got to go through it together. So that's why it's even more special to have this conversation, because although we were together, our experiences were different.
Yeah.
So I think of togetherness, a bond. I feel like you and I shared some things that no one else ever shared.
Yeah. I think that one of the stories that came to me late in life is that my uncle was calling, and he was saying how at the time that we lived there with him in the house with our grandmother, he was on drugs. And
Right.
I did not know that because I was so young.
Right.
I just thought he was just really kooky and crazy, like really just eccentric, like a very eccentric guy, stayed in a dark room and,
Yeah.
But now that I think about it, I just pray. I'm just so thankful that we recovered.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful that he was a good man on drugs.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not know you were going through some of the darkest times of your life.
Yeah.
You know, and we were so young as girls. And for him not to have touched us or did anything inappropriate and just to be a good man on that, I just think about that a lot often.
Yeah.
But
the covering.
Yeah.
Oh, God's covering, yes. Another question, sis. You ready?
Yeah.
What do you think personally helped us survive the toughest seasons of our life? And only you and me know it. But what do you think is that thing that helped us survive and get through the really tough seasons?
I mean, we're believers, you know. I believe in the Trinity, and I think that God is at the head of our life. I think that's what we were born into. I think that religion, even though people kind of talk about religion sometimes in a negative way, people have to understand that that's what gets people through, you know, and I think that's what got us through a lot of things, believing that we were more than just our situation. We were more than just, you know, a fatherless or motherless child at the time, you know. So I think that our colorful past helps us relate to a lot of different people now. And it helps push us through life in a very creative and bright way where people are drawn to it. I think without having that empathy, without having those situations when you're young, being around a lot of different nationalities, when we lived in Homestead, Florida, you know, a lot of different Cubans. When we lived in Warrensville Heights, Ohio, you know, a lot of Blacks, a lot of Spanish. We couldn't even walk to the corner. Someone was dying every day at the corner store, getting shot. I think, you know, I got hit by a car like 2 or 3 times, just running from bullies and people because, you know, you're different, you look different. And I think one of the things for me that you made me feel, you never made me feel different. So I never thought I was different. I never thought I was quirky until I kind of left when we separated. And then I was like, she never told me this. You know, you always just like I was okay. If I had a bed sheet wrapped around my head, you were like, oh, it looks good. It's great. It's whatever. And so you never made me feel any kind of way about myself. So I never had any kind of trepidation about how I would go off in the world.
Yeah.
But what do you think? I mean,
I think what helped, and I'll speak for me, what helped me through the tough seasons where we became displaced and we had to change schools and our family was, 1 minute you're all together, the next minute you're not, is I want to say, and I know, is that my eye was always on the end goal. Like I never let the small things stumble, like trip me up. I always knew eventually we're going to be all right. I always knew God's got us. I always knew, something in me always just knew, okay, he's preparing us. God is preparing us. He's sharpening us. Like we had a very sheltered, good life, but now he needs to teach us how to be strong. Now he needs to teach us how to go in the world and have discernment as young girls. Because when our parents went their way and they stopped teaching us, then we had to teach ourselves. And so I think what got us through is I knew that we would always be okay and that we would be in a good place. And I just always felt like we entered a season of preparation.
Yeah. And you felt like that we entered that season young?
I do. I feel like we entered the season young.
And see, I feel like that's where we differ. I feel like I did not have a high emotional IQ very young. And I feel like you had a high emotional IQ very young.
Okay.
And I feel like the way that I saw the world very young was very playful and childlike. And
Yeah.
where I felt like you looked at the situation and you wheels were turning in your head and questions were being asked and
Yeah.
like, what's the next step? And I never thought, even when we didn't have food, I never was like, what are we going to eat? I still had a childlike persona with it. like, okay, well, my sister's here. We're going to eat. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But those days of eating outdated stuff or not having anything or trying to make something out of nothing, I think that my emotional IQ was lower. And when I look back at it, I'm like, oh, that was not a good situation. But
But in a way, though, it was, because there's a proper order to things.
mhm.
And God has a proper order for things.
Yeah.
And the order was I was your big sister.
Mhm.
And you were the younger sister. So you were right where you were supposed to be, because there was an order for you to still be playful,
Mhm.
like to be kept. Oh, God, I'm going to tear up.
But we're only a year apart.
I know we're only a year apart, but the order was for
Take
you
your
to
time.
for you to still be childlike,
Mhm.
and for you to hold on to that as long as you could.
Yeah.
So the emotional intelligence that I carried was right, and it was in order, because you deserve to be childlike. And
I mean, do you
to
feel
be there.
like that took away from your childhood though?
No, not at all,
Yeah.
because I enjoyed my role I played.
Mhm.
I enjoyed my position that God put me in for you.
Mhm. Yes, you were a very mature child. And so we were definitely opposites in that vein. But I do remember taking every moment and being very innocent in the moment.
Yeah.
Like there were some things that
I love
weren't
that.
so innocent, but I was so innocent in the moment. And that's why I feel like people cannot blame kids they cannot blame children for what happens to them.
Right.
Because it's
Right.
just a very childlike feeling when they have it. But you were just very mature, very seen. And even though I saw that, I couldn't be that because it wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the way I was okay with you, you know?
Yeah.
So I just loved you to death because I was just like, it's my sister. God brought me in the world with her. Not you, me.
Okay. All right. So if I can ask you,
Mhm.
describe the current season of your life in one word or more that you're in now. And what would it be and why?
The current season?
The current season. If you could give language to the season you're in for yourself.
Well, 2026 is a new year. So I'm definitely about empowering myself. In 2025, I was a giver.
Yeah.
You know, and so now in 2026, the season I'm in is I have to make sure my cup is full.
Come on.
And I have to make sure that I'm good and that when I look in the mirror, I like who I see and that I'm not living with guilt of overgiving.
Okay.
Of overextending.
Okay.
And not because somebody asked, because I felt like it was necessary and I did it. And now I feel so in this season in my life, I definitely feel empowered to be in full bloom, to be my full self. And whatever that looks like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay how it looks and I'm okay how it feels. And I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to press the gas if I feel a bit fearful in my season, then I'm going to press the gas harder because that's something I wouldn't have did in a previous season.
Yeah.
I would have stopped. I would have, gotten in my own way. So What season are you in, sis?
Oh my goodness.
What's the season?
The season that I'm in
Mm-hmm.
right now, if I could give it language, vocabulary, wholeness, and fullness of truth,
Mm-hmm.
would be withholding things that are very personal, important to me,
Mm-hmm.
close to my chest. But I'm in a season of having very, very strong boundaries.
Okay.
And I'm in a season of executing vision.
Okay.
And I'm in a season of being close to God, the one that created me,
Mm-hmm.
for him to tell me who I am, what I am, how it's going to get done, which means my boundaries have to be stronger because everyone wants to kind of infiltrate and come in and tell you how to do it. And I used to be the girl that was sweet and get along. And yes, we can do this. And yes, and yes,
She's
and yes.
very sweet.
Yes,
She's
right?
very sweet.
But I've learned to say no, and to say no boldly, and to almost be in a place where I like to say no, but I'm learning to have really strong boundaries and be unapologetic about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a long time for me to get there. I will say it's been a 7-year journey to get there.
A 7-year journey?
7-year where I realized that's what I needed, but it took 7 years to be unapologetic about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Aw. Okay. Thanks. I love that. Okay. How do you personally know, Candy, when you've outgrown a certain version of yourself?
When I've outgrown a certain version of myself, I don't feel joy in it anymore. When I don't feel, I think you should feel some kind of passion about what you do in life.
Okay.
I think that you should get some type of joy, some kind of emotional fulfillment, some kind of food or nourishment for your spirit in some type of capacity out of what you do. And I think the minute you stop feeling that inside, you need to stop what you're doing.
I love that.
You need to make a U-turn. It's okay to go along the path a little bit further than you expected. It's okay to not have seen things clearly. It's okay to have made a mistake. It's okay to say, I shouldn't have did that. But when you go beyond what's resonating in you, then I think that you start to get what you don't want because you didn't want it in the first place.
Oh, wow.
So to me, that's what I've learned from it. I mean, that's how I'm moving in the world.
I love
It's okay if I went too far on the path, but once I realize it's not resonating in me anymore, it's my job, it's my duty to find what resonates in me. And that's why God has given us the gift of discernment and choice, freedom of choice, So, you make those bad choices. Okay, I made this choice and this is the consequence, or I did this, but now I can do better because I see it. You know what I'm saying? What about you?
Well, how I know that a version of myself no longer serves me is when I no longer feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
When I no longer feel the same, when I'm no longer praying for the same things. Mm-hmm. When the things that I once wanted, all of a sudden they feel like a memory,
mm-hmm.
like a fog. And my spirit just yearns to grow, to stretch, to burst out of that. And that may be with friendships, that may be with relationships, that's even with some family interactions and family relationships. That's even with my own child,
mm-hmm.
How I parent. That's even me as at work or as a leader. Like, I hold myself accountable to wanting to be better, do better, and to grow more. And saying goodbye to that old version, sometimes it feels really good. And then sometimes it feels really bad for staying there just a little bit too long. So,
I mean, I think there's a lesson in everything, but I think the biggest thing is that once you know even a little bit in your spirit that you have outgrown a situation or you are shedding the skin, you have to try to kick it off.
Yeah.
You have to try to get out and go the way your spirit is telling you to go. And I think people use a lot of discernment with other people, but they don't use it with themselves.
Yes.
And I think that's where the conflict is because they think they're judging themselves and they're not judging themselves. They're learning the new version of themselves.
Yes.
You know, like if you're shedding that old skin,
Yes.
then you're stretching out this new skin. You're getting ready. You're getting
ready.
in your flow. So it's kind of like, okay,
I like that.
you know, and I had to learn with, you know, taking care of the boys. That is not the reflection I want to see in their eyes,
Yeah.
you know, and I had to change a
Yeah.
lot of who I was.
Yeah.
Because I was grooming people. I was trying to help someone become a good human being.
Yeah.
And in doing that, I learned that there were some things about me that weren't too good.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
It wasn't serving me. It wasn't, there was no purpose for it. I didn't have a mirror to reflect it because I didn't have the right pocket of people around me that would say, okay, hold up.
Yeah.
You might need to think about this, you know?
Yeah.
And so I learned that the people I encountered were kind of reflecting, my actions. And if I could deal with it and if I could love it, then that's fine. But if not, you have to shed that.
Well, I'll say this. I'll share this, and I very rarely share this. My sister knows this. But there was a version of me that was attached to an identity that I loved. I loved being a mom. I loved being a wife. I loved being a homemaker. And when that season was over and God called me out of that season because I asked for something specific, that version of me was dismantled in literally like 5 days.
Yeah.
But I had asked out of my mouth for something. I said, God, I am ready. I'm ready to step into that version of myself that you see, not that I've built up. Yeah. And when I say within 5 days, everything that I knew was gone. My marriage was gone. My house sold on the market in a day. My home was gone. So many things had changed in my life, and it started a journey of me understanding what my identity was attached to, all those things that my identity was attached to. It's almost like it was lost. It was hard. It was like, for me, it was almost like I was losing something. And what I did is I took that loss, that season of loss, and I didn't look at it as my season of rebuilding and restructuring and God building me back up and recreating me in what I asked him to do. So it's almost like, well, how bad do you want it? Do you only want it if it's good and easy? Or do you want this new version of yourself when it comes with the building stages? And so that, when I keep saying it was a 7-year journey, y'all, I mean it. That's when it started. And so you speaking just now just actually made me realize like that was the biggest, most pivotal moment where I realized a new version of me was coming in, and it was hard and it hurt. And almost everything I knew in that season was taken. And we'll probably save it for another conversation. But that season, I lost my brother. I lost my nephew. I lost my husband. I lost my house. I lost the friends we had together. Y'all, this isn't just a year. This is months.
Yeah.
This happened. So that new version was being born out of that. And I knew it at the time. I was scared to walk into it. But
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I could have walked into it, but I Hey, my hat goes off to you because you have had, you know, I won't tell your testimony and I can't tell your
I
testimony,
will.
but we've had a lot of sorrow that you've been front seat to,
Yeah.
and in many ways were a very pivotal person in those people's lives,
Yeah.
that helped them keep going. And they were the number that you called,
Yeah.
and you were the number that they called when things went sour.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, I can feel you, but
Yeah.
that's a deep conversation.
It is. It is. We'll go deeper, but that question actually brought up a lot of things that I would like to go deeper on, but we're
Mhm.
going to move forward because I have a really big question. And I think that everyone out there, I want you all to ask yourself this question too, but I'm going to ask it to my sissy.
Okay.
What is something you no longer need external validation for?
Something that I no longer need external validation for. I don't know. I guess if I could think about anything, it would be my career.
Mm,
Um, you know, I no longer need that validation of that promotion or that I know I'm solid. I know I'm one of one. I know I'm the best. I know that
yeah.
I bring people up. I don't mind if they fly higher, if they go further, if they soar longer. I get pleasure in it. I get pleasure in teaching people. I get pleasure in seeing them satisfied with their work and being able to appease their boss or
Yeah.
go home with accomplishments. That kind of thing feeds me. And I used to be like, I'm ready for my promotion. I got to take care of my family. I got to do this. I got to do that. But it all became something that needed to be validated. Like I needed to be
Mm-hmm.
validated that I was at the top. And now I see that I am the heartbeat of our organization. I see
Wow.
that my name gets mentioned in rooms, not that I'm the best, but that I help them get through and the message gets there. And I know that, they look at me as a good person,
Yeah.
and I never thought that that kind of validation externally would matter.
Yeah.
But helping people be good at something
Oh, yeah.
matters to
Oh,
me.
my
It
gosh.
matters
Yes.
that they feel like they're okay when they go home. Not that I'm great at everything and I made everything okay, but that they feel like that they're an asset. And someone once said that if you find a good Black woman to run your company or be a part of your company, they will make your company grow. And I really do believe that because I feel like that we know what it's like to claw our way up to the top and be looking
Mm-hmm.
for that external validation that never comes for our hair, never comes for our skin, never comes for our tone, never comes for the words we use,
Right.
never comes for our kids, never comes for, people thinking if we have extended family at home, it never comes for us.
Yeah.
It's always like, she's tough, she can do it.
Right.
She's solid. And
I love that.
yeah, so I don't need that external validation in my career anymore. I'm there to make a spiritual presence. And that spiritual presence is to make people feel like they're a part of a community and that they're they matter. They matter.
I
Where
love
they
that.
spend their 8 hours or 10 hours a day, somebody is not pointing a finger at them, but saying, this is how you do it and this. And let
Yeah.
me give you some tools in your toolbox so that you can fish for yourself now.
Yeah.
Because my job is good. But in the external validation, I wasn't like that before when I was younger. It was like, I need this
Yeah.
because I need the promotion. I need the boss to know all the
Right.
things that
That I
I did,
did. Right.
And so now I don't need that. They don't have to know anything,
Mhm.
but you have to be good when you go back to your workstation or your boss so that when you come to me next time, you come to me with the whole story so that I can help you fully,
Right.
instead of piecemealing it and feeling like, I don't want to tell her everything because I'm in this high position and I should know.
Mhm.
Nobody has to be the be all end all. And I think that it just revalidates if I'm in the right place or not, if I can help them in that way. And uh, I'm probably outgrown the space that I'm in,
Yeah.
but because of everything that went on in COVID and everything, it's just hard to move. But what do you no longer need external validation for?
Well, I no longer need external validation to be myself and to show the world what I have to give.
Mm-hmm.
To some people say live out loud, but I don't have to apologize for who I am, and I don't need the external validation to say that you're right, you're okay, you look the part, you fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm okay with paving that way, like creating my own path. And I'm okay with being different and being the only one.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was going to piggyback that question with you on, but I think you answered it. And if it's something different than what you said, just tell me. This is one of our last questions, and then I want to do something else with you.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to ask you, what's the thing that you're most proud of? And
I think the thing that I'm most proud of now, today,
yeah,
I think the thing that I'm most proud of is that I gave up the life I could have had. I think the thing I'm most proud of is that I gave up the life I could have had so two human beings could have the life they should have.
mm,
And I think if I died today,
yeah,
I would be so proud of myself because I went in with pure and good intention. And I loved the deepest way I knew how,
yeah,
even though I saw the cracks in myself. I saw the barriers of where I learned how not to show love.
yeah.
I saw abandonment issues. I saw confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I saw versions of me that I didn't like. And I sacrificed it all for two human beings to show them that people could really pull back and show you how to live and love out loud.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not their mother, I live every day with a dream in my heart for them. I pray for them. I make sure that they want from nothing. I make sure they know how to treat people. I make sure that they know how to give back to other human beings. I make sure that they know that when they see somebody and they need help, I make sure they know how to help them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm most proud of. I'm most proud that I sacrificed for the greater good of I always tell them, I could be dressed out and I could be traveling and I could be doing so many things, but this fills me
Yeah.
like it fills me differently, and it makes me feel like that they had a destiny. It just some things get lost along the way. and that you're always able to regain. But we need to help each other.
Right.
We as people, we just need to help each other. And if we can get through this hurdle of seeing each other just in our authentic, purest self, then we can get it. We can come together and we can get it. But yeah.
Well, I am most proud of exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I'm so proud of my sister. She stepped in. I don't want to cry, but what she was referring to, the two beautiful boys, is our late brother, who is our oldest brother.
Mm-hmm.
We lost him a few years ago, and he left behind children. And my sister stepped in and she sacrificed her life to give them the best life, like she said they deserve. And one thing I can say, sis, is one thing I learned about love is sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And we live in a world and we live in a time where everyone's about me, and I, and if I don't feel good and if I'm not happy, then this isn't right. And that's not really what real love is. We have the biggest example of love and sacrificial love in Jesus Christ. Yeah. And he sacrificed everything because he loved us so much. And people don't look at it like that. And I am so proud of you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Someone who stepped in and wow, words can't even say what I see in the boys, in our two nephews, and the woman that you are. And I'm so glad that God just made a way that you could do that. So I'm so proud of that too.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that with me.
No problem.
Before I close,
I
like to invite my guests to do something that I call the sacred draw.
Okay, the sacred draw.
The sacred draw.
Okay.
So, in this jar, well, let's go back here. The sacred draw is going to be basically an impromptu conversation.
Okay.
It's led by the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
And it's led by this conversation that we have.
Okay.
And the sacred draw is our final word. At the end of conversations with guests, I like to invite them in to draw on a word that they're going to pick out of this jar with your own hands, your own touch.
Okay.
And I'd like for you to either speak on what this word means to you, how it's shown up in your life, or how it resonates, not just to this conversation, but to anything. And I don't know what it is that you're going to pull. And I ask for God and the Holy Spirit to guide us through this.
Okay.
And their words, just so you know, these words have context of healing, kingdom power, and biblical background. So,
okay.
All right. So, right here in the middle.
Okay.
If you would just swirl it up. Do you want to grab the whole thing?
Okay.
And just grab a word.
I'm just pulling one out.
Pull one out.
Girl, did you do this all night?
Thank you, Monroe.
Thanks, Ro.
That's my daughter.
Okay.
What word did you get? Or phrase?
Oh, hey, I am covered.
Oh, my.
I got covered.
Covered.
Okay, what am I supposed to do?
So you're supposed to tell me what that means to you or how that's shown up in your life.
Covered to me means the belief that God is never going to let me fail at anything. That he anoints my steps, that I walk in a faith-based walk. I put him first. I put him first when I go to bed. I thank him when I wake up. I thank him all throughout the day. There's not a moment that I'm not thanking for the blessing, and I'm thanking him especially for the covering that he's put over my life. and everything that I touch. I'm glad I got this. I'm glad I got this at the beginning of 2026.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got this because it just reaffirms what I feel is moving in my life.
Yeah.
And what I feel, the challenges that I have to come from. I woke up at the end of 2025 and said, can I still do this? There's so much trauma here. There's so much stuff
You
that
can
we
do
have to
it.
overcome and things that I have to put forth. But this just reaffirms that I'm going to get back on that plane and get it,
You are.
But yes, I do believe that once you get baptized, that you're washed in the blood, and that once you repent and take Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you walk a different path. It doesn't mean you don't make mistakes.
That's
Doesn't
right.
mean things don't happen. It doesn't mean that you don't backslide, and it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. It means that you have to walk in your truth, and your truth has to be with pure intention. To me, that's what it means to me. And then through that, he covers you through the obstacles that you have along the
Yeah.
way in the journey, and he gives you freedom of choice like he gives every other
Yeah.
human being. And right now, a lot of us aren't choosing our correct choice. We're choosing to help ourselves rather than reach out and help others. But I believe as a human race, we will get there.
Yeah.
And we are all covered.
Yes.
And we are all blessed. And I just, that's what I think.
Okay.
Okay, you drawing yours?
Do you want me to draw? Okay, I want you to keep that.
Okay, thank you.
I want you to keep that as a memory, not only of this session that we had, but just a reminder that you're covered. And
okay, I'll keep it. I'll have to laminate it, girl. This
Okay.
thing will be makeup prone and everything. But okay, let's see.
Let's see. All right.
Show me how it's done. Come on, big sis.
Oh, mine says beloved.
Oh, beloved. Okay.
So what that means to me, what I see in my head is something so special, something so protected, something so beloved that it's adorned, it's held in such a light, that it's so special, that it's not just loved, but beloved. It's loved all the way around, in and out, through and through mistakes, through falls, through bad turns, through poor decisions, that I am still beloved. And so this is really sweet. This is really endearing, because this reminds me of what it feels like and what it is to be a kingdom daughter, and to have a father that loves you so, so much that no matter what you do, as long as you walk with him, that you are his beloved.
Yeah, I think of your daughter, and I think of you calling her beloved. When you're saying that, I just think, I just hear that, but yeah, that's a great one too.
Aw.
That's a great one.
All right, so we're going to wrap up, but before we wrap up, I want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I want to see if you have any final words. We gave the final draw, but I appreciate this so much, sis. You don't even know.
I don't have any final words. I just, it's great to see you in your bloom, in your season.
Don't make me cry.
I'm going to enjoy watching this ride that you go on. I'm going to enjoy running around and doing whatever, you need. But also, I want people to get to know the person that I've had the pleasure of being with for so long. You know me. I've been jealous of so many of your friends. I have come in with attitude, with everything, and that's my sister territorial. But now, if God is calling to share yourself with the world, then they are in for a treat because there is no one that walks the earth like you walk the earth and I think one thing that I've learned from you is that you can be a gentle giant, and so I'm taking that into this new year, and I wish you the best. I thank you for having me. I thank you for always carrying yourself in the way that the Lord sees you to carry yourself, and I'll follow your lead, and hopefully your subscribers will too,
Thank you, sis.
Yeah.
All right. Wrap it up.